Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. We are here today with some books over here, some books over here, and that means it's a wrap-up video. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty proud of my reads this month. I don't know if you can see all the way on the bottom, but I read 8 books this month. I think that's the most I've ever read. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. This month I just dedicated a lot more time to reading and less time like on my phone. Like I swear that time that I did this screen, like swapping screen time video for like reading, literally changed my life. We're just gonna go ahead and get right into my June wrap up and my July TBR. The first book I read this month, I actually did a reading vlog on, and it was an experience. I absolutely love this book. I'm so excited to read the rest of the series. It is none other than A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. We all know, we all love the series. We've all heard so much about it, even if we've never read it. It is everywhere. It's been on TikTok for like almost 2 years now, and it's just like blown up. I low-key feel like this is kind of like the new like Hunger Games with like how popular it is. If you've never heard of A Court of Thorns and Roses, basically it's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, even though a lot of it's really like not. A lot of it's just kind of like different. It's basically about this girl named Feyre, and she ends up getting like captured by a fairy, and she has to like live out the rest of her days in the fairy lands, which is called Prythian. I rated this book a solid like 4.5. I felt like it was just like very, very good. I was on the edge of my seat, but it didn't quite give me that like 5-star feeling. But I did really enjoy the plot. All the characters were super good too. There were a lot of things that kind of like bothered me at the end of it, but obviously there's like 4 more books. I have them like all behind these ones back here, and I'm so excited to get into them. Hopefully I can start on them maybe next month if I get through some of my TBR. But if you do want to know all my thoughts on this book, like I said, I uploaded a vlog wholly dedicated to it. I have non-spoiler and then I have a spoiler version, so watch it if you would like to. And yeah, I really did love this book. 4.5. She's a beauty. Also, I just can't get over like the covers and the colors of them. I just think these books like themselves, like even if you don't read, like these would be good like bookshelf beautiful books just to like have. This next one is a very popular book talk one as well that I just like haven't gotten into reading yet, but I really did enjoy, and it's Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, my first ever book by her, and I really, really liked it. This is the first one in the Knock 'Em Out series, and basically Knock 'Em Out is like a small town, and so they're like small town books, and this was actually my first like small town read, and I cannot wait to read more. This makes me want to read like the Flawless series. This one in the Knock 'Em Out series is about Naomi, and she's basically just like a girl like trying to figure it all out. Her sister is like actually like crazy. Her name's Tina, but like they're twins, so whenever she goes to Knock 'Em Out to like help her sister, everybody thinks she's Tina and like treats her like very differently because of that, because Tina just like sucks. Basically Tina just like up and leaves town. She totally screws Naomi over, and Tina leaves Naomi with her daughter too, so like it's kind of crazy because she has to like assume guardianship and create a whole new life in a whole new town where she knows really no one. And then she meets Knox Morgan. We love him. He's like a classic like broody bad boy. This is definitely like grumpy sunshine, but also like a little fake dating mixed in too. Little sprinkle of fake dating. He ends up finding Naomi like the first time she's in town, thinking she's Tina, and he was like a total like to her, if you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, he's there for Naomi and her niece, and I just feel like he ends up like taking this point of just like helping her out, which is so nice. But there's also like a lot of attraction between them two. They don't really like each other. It kind of is like enemies to lovers too, no lie. There's a lot of different tropes in this book, which makes sense because it is quite long. And also this book is pretty spicy. I'm not gonna lie, this might be the spiciest book that I've ever read. Maybe I just haven't read a lot of spice. Just to warn you though, before you go into it, because you look at the cover and you're like, oh, cute romance, but then you're like, this is like 550 pages. How is there no spice in this? You know what I mean? There's definitely spice in it. I did really enjoy this one though. I ended up rating it a 4.5. I'm actually really excited to read the rest of the series. The third one is coming out in September, I think, and I already pre-ordered it, so we're good to go. But I actually have the second one right here. The second one is about his brother Nash. I feel like I'm gonna like this one, but I feel like the third one is gonna be my favorite because it's about Knox and Nash's childhood best friend Lucy, and then the girl he's kind of into, the librarian Sloane. And I'm so excited for that one because I feel like they just have like they're like in the other 2 books, so you see them kind of like as like subplot side characters, and you just wonder like what is going on between them, like what happened. But I did really enjoy this one. 4.5. We love the Knock 'Em Out series. stories and just like the little town itself. I'm so excited to read more small town romances. The next book we have is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This is my second book by her, and I just absolutely love her writing. It's very simple and fun and easy to read, and it's also just like, she's such a good storyteller, and I love having dual POV. By the way, this one is dual POV as well. I feel like any book that has dual POV, I just like instantly have to add like more of a star to, because you just see so much more. And obviously having an extra POV just makes like so much more sense and like context and stuff like that. I love having a little bit of dramatic irony. When in Rome follows Amelia. She's actually like a famous pop star, but she really just needs a break from like the rock star life. So she ends up deciding to go to this small town, Rome, Kentucky, another small town romance. And basically Amelia just ends up spending like a few weeks there just to get away from everything. And she ends up finding a lot of clarity about her career and kind of getting the breath of fresh air that she needs. But then there's like Noah, obviously. And they kind of have this thing where it's like, will they, won't they? Like they really like each other and everybody can tell. But it's really hard because it's like you don't want them to like do something because she's gonna leave, because she's literally going on like a 9-month tour after she leaves this town. That's not what I'm gonna tell you because I don't want to give it away. I rated this one a solid 4 stars. It was very cute and I liked it a lot. And I found myself getting pretty connected to the characters too. I'm excited to read Practice Makes Perfect, which is like another companion novel. It's about Noah's sister Annie. And then I think about Amelia's Bodyguard. I think they like get together or something like that. Interested to see what I think of that. But I really did like this one. It was just like a very cute rom-com-y read. This next book I absolutely fell in love with. It is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Can we just give a minute for the shine, the beautifulness of the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition? She's so pretty. After I finished this book, I immediately wanted to go buy the second one. That's how you know it's a good book. This book is about a girl named Evangeline Fox, and basically she's in love with this guy, but this guy is marrying her sister. So she ends up meeting with a fate, which is kind of like a god in this world, but like they're kind of like evil. Like you never want to make a deal with them, but a lot of people do. So she ends up meeting with a fate named Jax, who is the Queen of Hearts. And basically his whole thing is that like if he kisses you, he kills you. She basically just asked Jax, she's like, please like help me. Like he cannot marry her. Like I would be so heartbroken. She's basically just trying to do like anything in her power to stop the wedding, and Jack's making a deal with her that he will stop the wedding if she gives him 3 kisses. Now, not to him, but at any moment in time, she has to kiss 3 people of Jax's choosing. It's very good. It is a fairy tale fantasy kind of romance, which if you've never read any fantasy books, I really do recommend starting out with this because it's the perfect like middle ground from romance and fantasy. Plus like everybody loves a good fairy tale. You know what I mean? Like it was so good. I rated this one a solid 4.5 as well. As you can see, we have a lot of 4.5s this month, but I'm really excited to see where it goes. This ended off on a little bit of a cliffhanger. The third one of this little trilogy is coming out in like October, I think. But I've heard that if I think this cliffhanger is bad, then I need to wait to read the second one until like up until the last minute that the third one comes out, which stresses me out so much because I am so impatient. I'm so bad with cliffhangers. But I'm really excited to continue the series. Solid 4.5. We love Evangeline, we love Jax, and this whole story is just incredible. The entire time I just didn't know what was gonna happen next, which I really liked because like in a romance, I feel like you kind of like know what's gonna happen. Like you know they're gonna end up together, like you just like know, you know what I mean? Like you have at least some sense of feeling that they're gonna end up together even if like you don't know like how or when or why. But in this one, you just genuinely don't know what's gonna happen next, who she's gonna end up with, anything like that. And you never know what Jax is thinking either, which honestly like not having a dual POV and this one is actually a good thing. It just kind of like throws you off like the rhythm that you think everything's going. But yeah, I really like this book. It's a solid 4.5. These next ones are actually the only like summary-esque books that I read this month, so next month I'm definitely gonna be making up for that. These 3 are all a part of a very popular trilogy. It is The Summer I Turned Pretty books. We're gonna briefly go over these because I actually vlogged my entire experience reading these. I vlogged a non-spoiler version of the first one, and then I gave my spoilers after that, and I gave my spoilers of these 2 books. So if you want to see all my in-depth thoughts about the books specifically, go ahead and make sure you watch out and check out that video whenever it comes out soon. I ended up rating this first one a solid 3, which actually like isn't really bad. Like if you think about it, that's actually still like a pretty good solid rating. I ended up rating the second one, It's Not Summer Without You, a 3.25, and then the third one, Will Always Have Summer, a 3.5. And again, be sure to check out all of my thoughts in the vlog on these 3 books coming up. Okay, we have one more book left. I actually listened to an audiobook this month, and it was Carrie Soda is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book is about tennis. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. It is a tennis book. I'm not really a tennis fan. I think the closest thing I do is play pickleball, which is kind of like tennis adjacent, and that's just for fun. So honestly, I had like no idea what I was getting into whenever I started reading this book. So yes, it is about tennis, but it's mainly about this woman named Carrie, and she's a professional tennis player, but she has a world record. She goes into retirement, and then she's watching this match while she's in retirement, and this girl is really close to beating her record. So she's like, do I come out of retirement? And then she does. So she goes back in. It's all about her past training for like making that record, and the rest of the book is about how she comes out of retirement and trains to defend her record. I thought it was very interesting, very good. There's a lot of different subplots of characters kind of going on too, which I did enjoy. It's not like just tennis, and actually like some parts were pretty funny. This was one of my first times like listening to an audiobook too, and I do have to say that I kind of like liked it. I do think that sometimes I space out, so maybe I didn't get like the fullness of the book, meaning like I definitely missed some things that I wouldn't have missed if I was like actually like reading every single word. But I did really like it. I'm gonna rate this one a solid like 4.25, just because all the relationships and stuff like that, her character development, her growth, all of those things, not just in the game of tennis but just as a person, were very cool. And I've never really read about an athlete like this where the main focus was like the game, and I really liked it. So it's gonna be a solid 4.25. Okay, those are all the books that I read in June. Now it is time for my July TBR. I only have 5 books on my TBR this month, which is kind of small for like the amount of reading that I've been wanting to do lately, but I really didn't want to make my TBR too big this month because I wanted to give myself like the freedom to mood read, and not just mood read from my TBR, but like all of these books. Like literally I have so many books behind these ones too that you can't see, but I just wanted to give myself the freedom this month to read different types of books and not just be like so strict on a TBR, because most of the time I don't follow it anyway, let's be honest. So the first book out of the 5 on my July TBR is Summer Reading by Jen McKinley, and she is a new author for me. I haven't really heard a lot about this book. I just ended up walking into Barnes and I was like, okay, cover's cute. Back sounds interesting, sounds like I'm gonna like her, and I really want to start like actually picking out books that not just like everybody reads and I'm like recommended, if that makes sense. I just want to start picking out books that I find at the store, because if you really do think about it, like that's what we used to do before, like booktube, book talk, bookstagram, and I want to get back into that because like I want to recommend other books than what everybody else is reading to you guys, so then you have like more books to choose from and you're not just hearing like the same things over and over again. I literally say that, and then like these next 4 books are also like very popular, but this one, you know, we're starting the breaking out of my comfort zone moment, okay? We're starting it right now. This book follows a girl named Sam. She just quit her job. She was a chef, and she's going to visit her dad to take like a little vacation in like the beach town that he lives in. And then she ends up meeting Bennett, who is like a total like book nerd. He loves books, he loves reading, but she has dyslexia. So it's literally like very opposites attract, and I'm pretty sure it's giving like summer fling vibes. And I feel like it just looks very cute. The next book that I really want to read this month is Once More with Feeling by Alyssa Sussman. I really liked the first one that she wrote, which was Funny You Should Ask. It went like kind of pretty viral on TikTok a while ago. I honestly don't know too much about this book, but the cover's cute, and I'm pretty sure they're pop stars from what I've read on the back. So I'm interested to see how I like it, and I really liked her first one, so I hope I like this one too. Next up, we have another summery read, which is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. As you can see, I have her Every Summer After sitting right here. I don't know why I want to read this one first. I think it's just because the cover is just so gorgeous, but also I've heard Every Summer After is a lot like Love in Other Words, which I haven't read yet, but I really want to get to. I might get to that this month if I finish these 5 books like quickly. I just feel like Love in Other Words deserves my respect to read it before I read Every Summer After, if they're similar, if that makes sense. This is basically about a girl named Fern and a guy named Will, and they spend like 24 hours together one summer and then make a deal that they'll see each other again. And even though they only knew each other for like 24 hours, like Fern was just like always thinking about Will. They were like obsessed with each other and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure. I think it's a second chance romance. Obviously, that's what I'm hearing, I guess. But the cover's cute, and that's really all I know about it. I really hope it gives all the summer vibes just from the way that the cover looks. I'm so excited for this one. You guys have no idea. We have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. If you know, you know. I love Ali Hazelwood. Also have no idea exactly what this is about, but it looks really cute. It's Elise and Jack, and that's all I know, but she's an instant buy author, so I'm very excited to read this. I've heard really great things, a lot of people saying that this is their favorite one of hers and stuff, so I really hope I like it. Last but not least, you can literally I already see it and tell what book this is, but it's Happy Place by Emily Henry. I am so excited to read this. The only book that I've read by her so far is Beach Read, but I literally loved it. It was a 5 out of 5 for me, and everybody says that this one and Beach Read are like the two best of hers, and I still haven't read Book Lovers or People We Meet on Vacation. I want to get to them by the end of the summer though, so I can have read all of her books, because I just really loved her writing in Beach Read so much. So I really hope this one doesn't disappoint. I know this book is so hyped up. You're probably tired of people talking about it, but I am really excited to read it. If you have read it, let me know your spoiler-free thoughts in the comments down below, because I am just so excited. Also, the pink, so cute. I was gonna wait until she came out with a paperback version, just because all of her books just look so cute. Like, the spines of them are adorable. Specifically, Beach Read's spine is so cute. And I was like, I want them to look so cute, like, next to each other. But also, if I'm being realistic, I'm impatient. Even though I do love a good paperback, I gotta have the contents of what's in here, you know? I did the same thing. I actually ordered Fourth Wing. I'm so excited, but it's coming in August. What's up with that? This book is about two characters, Harriet and Wynne, and they were engaged to be married. They dated for a while, and they're a part of like this big friend group that goes to like a beach house every summer. But they end up breaking up, but they end up like fake being together while they're there, because they don't want to like ruin the trip for everybody else. I've just heard this is a beautiful book about like friendship mainly, and I'm very excited. A lot of her books, a lot of people think like are just straight up romances, but they're honestly like literary fiction. And I feel like this is a perfect way to have a little bit of something else in the middle of just like pure like super rom-com-y romances, and I am so excited to read this. Alrighty, those are all the books that I read in June and all the books that I really want to read in July. If you've read or are reading or want to read any of these books and you have any sort of thoughts on them, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to chat with you guys about them, or if you have any book recommendations for me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.